What's the most devious thing you've done out of pure horniness? I turned my best friend gay so I could get freaky with him. Alex and I have been best friends since meeting freshman year of high school. We bonded over skateboarding and punk music. When I came out as gay junior year, he was totally chill and supportive about it. A year later, since Alex was the only person I was out to at school, I confessed that over time I had developed a crush on him. I couldn't help it even though I knew he identified as straight. He let me down gently, saying he cared about me deeply as a friend but just didn't feel the same romantic attraction. It hurt to have my feelings unreciprocated, but I valued our close friendship too much to lose it over those unrequited pangs. Alex promised my confession didn't change anything between us. I moved past the crush, and we remained super close all through senior year and into college. We ended up going to schools near each other, so we still hung out constantly. Then last year in our junior year, Alex asked if we could try becoming friends with benefits. He claimed hooking up with girls from parties or apps risked messy unwanted pregnancies or STD scares. But since I found him attractive and he trusted me, he thought I could be a safer option for no strings attached banging. He swore it would be just physical release between friends, no romance involved. I was extremely reluctant to try this idea, worried it could irreparably damage our treasured friendship. But Alex kept insisting it could work as long as we set clear boundaries and kept things casual. He said we could go back to fully platonic at any time if it got weird. After a lot of back and forth, I finally agreed to give it a shot, but only if we promised that no matter what happened physically, we'd never let it ruin the friendship we both valued so much. In retrospect, this was a foolish gamble to take with someone I cared about. At first, things seemed fine. We set clear ground rules, like no staying over after hookups, no PDA outside the bedroom, and absolutely no going on real dates or couple activities. It was just an intimate release between two trusting friends. Those first few months it was smooth sailing. We kept things strictly physical and put the friendship first, not letting any romantic notions creep in. I did really enjoy the sexual chemistry we discovered together. But I worked hard not to let my old feelings resurface. However, around the 6-month mark of being friends with benefits, Alex started acting really oddly romantic and possessive. He'd gently kiss and caress me after bed instead of leaving right after. He'd take me out for dinner at nice restaurants and insist on paying. And he started saying he loved me during and after we hooked up. Given our history, I had a hunch what this behavior meant. I gently asked Alex if he was possibly developing real romantic feelings for me or questioning his sexuality at all. But he adamantly denied it, insisting he was completely straight and saw me only as a friend. He claimed the romantic vibe was just his way of reciprocating the intimacy, since he knew I once had a crush. He still identified 100% as heterosexual. The affection was intended as platonic, that's all. But it definitely seemed he was in denial about not being totally straight. I told him the romantic behavior felt like he was leading me on, making things very confusing and risky. I wanted it to stop so the lines didn't get even more blurred. Alex apologized for misleading me and admitted he may have gotten a bit too friendly out of gratitude for me agreeing to the sexual favors. He swore up and down it was no reflection on his straightness or platonic feelings towards me. He valued me as his best friend, nothing more. I wanted to believe that was true and we were on the same page. But I still had an uneasy gut feeling the situation was getting shaky. We mutually agreed to scale back physical contact to the bare minimum going forward. However, over the next few weeks, Alex kept pushing boundaries, wanting us to platonically cuddle, hold hands, or to practice showing affection for when he eventually got a serious girlfriend. I told him it seemed like a slippery slope, so I had to further establish solid barriers to protect myself and our friendship. He begrudgingly agreed to keep things strictly intimate or non-touching platonic. But he seemed disappointed by that, making me even more concerned. After another tense month or so of renegotiating boundaries, our friendship with its complicated additional sexual layer seemed to stabilize again into something sustainable long-term. Then out of the blue, everything changed. Alex showed up at my door one night in tears, wanting to talk. He confessed that at a party the night before, he had ended up hooking up with a guy. And it wasn't just physical, he had really emotionally clicked with this other student too. Alex admitted he had been battling scary unwanted gay attraction feelings and urges for years. This hookup had triggered a full-blown sexuality crisis. I hugged Alex as he cried into my shoulder, telling him it was going to be okay. I said human sexuality is a complex spectrum, not static boxes. Maybe he wasn't 100% heterosexual or homosexual. He was likely somewhere in the middle like most people, which was completely normal and fine. He just needed to accept himself. Alex sobbed that he was terrified what his family, friends, and society would think if he came out as bisexual or queer after identifying as straight his whole life. He felt like his entire world was crumbling in the shock of self-realization. My heart broke seeing him in such turmoil. Over the next few months, I was there for Alex every step of the way as he slowly came to terms with his identity. By senior year, he had fully accepted himself as bisexual and even started dating a super nice guy named Zach who was part of the LGBTQ community on campus. My friendship with Alex remains strong to this day. We're both relieved we emerged from that rocky period closer than ever, older and wiser about love, relationships, intimacy, acceptance, and our evolving sexualities. But if I'm being honest, the closet was transparent the entire time.